You know that thing they say, your background doesn't have to define who you are. I'm 100% a believer, and here's why. First of all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lina Isong, and if this is your first time on my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video if you enjoy it, and share. So this is my story of how I didn't let my background, not literally my background, but I didn't let my background define who I am or who I became or generally define my life. And why do I say that? Is because sometimes life could be very funny. And for those staying in Nigeria, like where I come from, life can be very, very funny. A whole lot of things can throw you off balance. A whole lot of things can happen and change the course of your life. A whole lot of things can give your life a 360 turnaround and you won't really realize what's going on in your life. And before you know, you might end up being like those people that end up blaming their parents, blaming their family members, blaming their uncle. Like no one owes you anything in this life except yourself. And I think that's one thing, one mantra that has helped me in life. But let's talk about the story for a minute. I was at this point in my life where I had just rounded up university and I was looking forward to go for my service in Lagos. But something happened. Something very, very important happened. And I had to stay back and I had to give up the whole 9 to 5 dream. I used to be that person that used to dream I was going to get a job, probably in the bank or somewhere corporate, and always waking up in the morning to dress up to go to work. But that changed. I'm a remote worker. I work from home. And that was because I didn't let my background, my situation defined who I was going to be or what my life was going to turn out to be at the end of the day. So when that particular thing happened at the moment, it grounded me to a particular location and it stripped me of my 9 to 5 dream. Also kept me in the house. Like I wouldn't really say it was because, but I'm an introverted person normally. So the whole thing just really made me really introverted. Like my life was invisible as at the time. When I'm talking about time, I'm talking about 2022 to 2024. Yeah, it was a 2 year journey. Because of such a situation, I knew I couldn't allow that particular circumstance keep me grounded for life, because I knew at the end of the day I was going to regret a lot. So imagine staying in the house because something important, it was very important. Don't get me wrong. It kept me, I couldn't do my 9 to 5 and literally had all the excuse to stay at home and be a nuisance. I don't want to go into detail, but I had all the legit excuse not to work a day in my life, not to do anything, not to chase any dream, just be there because life just had me there. But I thought about it. I didn't know how long the journey was going to take. And I thought to myself, 2 years from now, you should be achieving a whole lot of things for yourself. But if you keep at the mindset that you have a legit reason not to do what you ought to do for yourself, if you keep at that, you will end up full of regret 2 years from now because you're going to feel left behind. People are doing things, right? My mate at the time, most of them got into service, and after service they got into 9 to 5. They got jobs. Some people were doing well, some people were traveling out of the country, we were getting married, and I was just there. And I just knew that I needed to do something for myself because 2 years from now, these things I just mentioned was going to happen. And by the time I start looking back at my journey, I'm going to be full of regret. I'll be the whole I wish, and before you know, here comes the frustration, the bitterness, the saddest kind of person. And I know I was not up for that, so I did what I needed to do. I looked for an alternative. That's one thing I want to really let people to understand, that when one door is closed, you have to look around the room for a second opening, for a second pathway, for a second window or door. Even if it's a rooftop opening, look for a way out. That was the best decision I ever made for myself. Now, since I couldn't do the whole 9 to 5 stuff, I came across, let me not say I came across, someone actually told me, someone actually close to me, told me how someone got a digital skill, did the course, did internship, went on LinkedIn, announced that, oh, she had just finished taking this course, she has a skill and she's looking for an opening for a virtual assistant role. And voila, she got an international company reach out to her and they paid her like about $200 plus for that role. working from home. You literally do not have to leave the comfort of your house, and you're working for an international company and you are earning in dollar. And I was like, hmm, this is possible. Then I have no reason to sit down and do nothing for myself. And I decided to pick up a skill. And I don't want to talk about my journey into becoming a digital marketer, but I actually picked up a digital marketing skill. I think I will do another video on how I became, or I decided to become, a digital marketer and now a brand strategist, because I love everything and anything about branding and strategizing. So I picked up a course in digital marketing. I did it for 1 month with company at the time. And after 1 month of doing the course, I decided to go into the internship part of it, where we did a 1 month internship. And after that 1 month internship, our tutor at the time had told us that we should utilize the LinkedIn platform. We write for 50 days. Yeah, we went on a 50 days writing challenge, and I love challenges. And yeah, I wanted to build my personal brand. I wanted to be out there so that people know that I have this particular skill and I have this value to offer, this service to offer to companies, to business, anybody that requires a digital marketing skill. So we went on a 50 days challenge and we were able to like finish the 50 days writing challenge. After that 50 days writing challenge, I went for another 30 days writing challenge with my first coach, Precious Carlo. You can check her out on LinkedIn, you can check her out on Instagram, you can check her out on YouTube. Yeah. So there's not in any way sponsored, or she didn't ask me to do this. Like spotlighting people that were of value in my life. So I went on a 30 days writing challenge with her, and it was under her mentorship I got my first job, and I was paid in international currency. And that's how my life kind of like turned around. And that's how I moved from the dream of being a 9 to 5 to a remote worker. And I don't regret that. I think it was God's way of redirecting me to the right path, or to the path He had predestined for me. Sometimes we just make decisions because of peer pressure. That's the topic for another day. We make decisions out of peer pressure, out of lack of direction, lack of clarity, and so many other things, right? So for some people, it could be family pressure. Maybe you end up chasing a career path when you are actually called for something else. So I think for me, that period and everything that happened in between was God's way of calling me back to where He wanted me to be. Because now I'm looking back at my life and I'm like, would I have survived in the 9 to 5 world? I don't know. I literally wouldn't know. I don't even know if I want to have a taste or a feel of what it feels like. Even if I would, it should be government work where it's very, very flexible. Even if I'm going to test something like that, it should be in that way. But as it is now, I'm a full-time remote worker, work from home. And the good thing about working as a remote worker or a freelancer is that you literally have time to build your own business, your own vision, while serving people. And I think that's another story for another day, because that's how I was able to build some of my initiative. That was how I was able to collaborate with other people's vision, and that's how I've been able to learn what it takes to actually bet something, bet an idea, bet a vision, bet an initiative. It's not easy, and that actually forced me to finally chasing my MBA, which is Masters in Business Admin currently, because I've been exposed to a whole lot. And trust me, if I didn't take that decision right now, I'll be full of regrets. I'll be thinking, my mates are this, my mates are that, here, yeah, yada, yada, and all that stuff and everything. And that wasn't in any way, it wasn't in any way like help me grow. It's not going to motivate me to do better. Instead, I will dwell in what I should have done, or I will start like cursing. I will start like putting the blame on people that I shouldn't actually put the blame on. And if you're someone that you are at this point in life where you actually think that the things that are happening in your life currently is because of people, I want you to understand that you need to take responsibility. It's going to really help you a lot, because in as much as people play a part in our life, and in our journey, majority of that stuff or situation that is happening to you, majority of that, you had a major role to play in that than people. I think it's 80% internal and 20% external, because everything is all about decision making. It's all about what you want, what you decide for yourself, and the action you decide to take. The advice I'm going to give out there is for you to first of all come to the realization that you are responsible for 100% of everything that happened in your life. The moment you realize that, first of all, it's going to kill entitlement, it's going to kill your blaming game, and it's going to get you to put up your big girl or big boy pants and go get the job done, because no one is actually coming to save you, like literally no one. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. If you're someone on that pathway, take up the responsibility, correct your mistake, and look forward. How can you look forward? Yeah, the mistake have been done, so what's next? How do you correct that? How do you move from there? It's never too late to actually start. It's really never too late. If it means picking up the skill now, if it means going back to school, if it means starting all over again, start. And I think when you decide to start, give yourself 6 months, like that thing they call lock in for 6 months, putting in the work, putting in the effort, trying to grow, trying to gain knowledge, trying to be better at that skill, and actually find a way to put yourself out there, because people pay for value. People pay for things that gives them value. And if you go out there to make yourself valuable, and then you then make yourself visible to the right audience, I think your life can change in the next 6 to 1 year of putting in the effort. So please, if you are listening to me right now and you're saying this video speaks to me, this video speaks to my journey, I can relate to this, please do the right thing for yourself. And if you're like me, that actually made the right decision and took up the responsibility for your life, kudos to you. You're doing a great job. And I wish you all the best. I wish you more brilliant decision making and greater heights in all your endeavor. All right, I hope this video helps someone out there. And if you found this video helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share as a way of supporting me. And let me hear from you in the comment. Did you find this valuable? What part really hits or did it for you? I would love to hear from you. So until then, see you in my next video. Bye.